discussed last week. Change of subject of a formula. That's all you need to do. Make X the new subject of the formula. And you're going to realize now that X, which is supposed to be the input, will now appear as the output because it's going to be X equals to blah. Now, that for X to be the output now shows that we've done the reverse process. But now you have X in terms of Y plus something, something, something. Change your Y to the new input and change your X to the new output. Because it's the inverse, it's a forward process, we're going to call that Y X, and we're going to call the X F inverse of X. I don't want to talk too much, okay, let's get down to it. So make X the subject in this process, in this case. So now you have that. What do? You want to make X the subject of the formula, so you cross multiply. So if I cross multiply, I'm going to take that upwards. So it becomes Y into bracket 1 minus 2x equals to 3x plus 1. Now let's open the bracket because we want to actually collect all the x's to one side. So it becomes y minus 2yx equals to 3x plus 1. Now to make x the subject, first and foremost, let all the x's be on one side. Let all your x's be on one side. For those of you who have more than one ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriends, keep them on one side, okay? So I'm going to take that one to that side and bring this one to this side so that we can have some positives. So y, because this is a plus 1, I'm going to subtract minus, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. So it becomes y minus 1 equals to 3x. Because this is minus 2yx, I'm going to add 2yx to both sides. So it makes this 2yx. Now, x is common to these two terms, and that's very good because that's what we want to extract. So y minus 1 becomes, I can factorize x. So x is out, 3 plus 2y, because when you take x out of these two guys, you're leaving them with their coefficients. Now, to make x the subject, what do we want to do? We want to get rid of this term on this side. So take this side, look at it, what is it doing to x? Well, the bracket tells me that it's actually multiplying x. So the opposite of multiplication is division. All right, so divide through by 3 plus 2y. So it becomes y minus 1 all over 3 plus 2y is equal to x. Therefore, x is equal to y minus 1 over 3 plus 2y. But look at this question. Look at this now. X used to be the input and y used to be the output. But now x is on the, well, it's a subject now. It's the output of what happens when you give y as your input. But because we are looking for a function that looks like this, but in the forward process, it means that that inverse, which you're going to replace now, so this takes the place of the inverse, which is the output now of your inverse process, is whatever the input is. And usually we like to call x the input. So x again, minus 1 divided by 3 plus 2x. This is y, but because now it's the input for this function, so it is this. And that is the solution to that problem. Some people like boxing their answers. I think I'm just going to do that too. All right. I'm sure you might be asking, but how do you just change x to f inverse of x? And why would you just change y to x? Well, that's because this looks like the reverse process of this, right? But we are not looking for just the reverse process. We are looking for a forward process that looks like the reverse process. So we call that forward process the f inverse. And if you're going to say this is the output of the forward process, then this must be the input of the forward process. Okay. Another question in that same question was for us to find g inverse of x. Well, because you have done the first one,